And I'm back, and the stream is good, so I'm going to go straight into that cast. Wazam! It's going to be Vile Illusion versus Ruxin. Yeah, I know my feed died. It's because I reset so I can upload the stuff onto YouTube. Okay, so Shazap. This is going to be Li Ji Yun Yu, also known as Ruxin, against Vile Illusion, who's just it's a bunch of eyes, and I keep disabling the music. That is so weird. But Vile Illusion is a super good player. So is Ruxin. I'm excited to see this game. He said it was very well played, or actually that doesn't sound like Alex at all. It might just be a BM fest. We'll find out, because these are both very good players, and I have no doubts that this is an excellently played match. Little bit of commentary. Ruxin, Alex Honenfeld, has started playing Dota and likes it more than StarCraft. And he said to me, he came to my house and he said, I'm actually giving up on StarCraft. If anyone else wants my account, message my private Facebook and just say, I heard you like Dota 2 more than StarCraft. Can I have your account? So if you want that, just go ahead and do that, and don't listen if he says anything else. He would never say something like that. Anyways, Vile Illusion is going to be putting down a barracks at the bottom of his natural ramp. Pretty smart stuff on this map. You can just wall in this small gap with 3 racks or something like that and get a nice early command center. Very safe kind of opening on this map. You can see he's actually 2 racks expanding. Very common to see, especially in today's metagame. In the meantime, Li Ji Yun Yu is 14 or 15 pooling, 15 expanding, what am I saying? 15 hatch, and he's got more drones on the way. He is just playing with these drones, and it's going to be a good game because both players are doing some economic openings. Even killing an SCV with this drone. He's a hero. He has 1 kill. He's going back to base. He's going to open a bar and call it the Drone Fest. That's what I think. But he's gonna die. Oh, that's so close. Nope, he's gonna be fine. He's regenerating health. What a baller boss drone. Going home. But really all you want to do in this point as the Zerg player is play safe. Don't lose to a 2 racks all in. Because there could be a bunker push coming very shortly, especially with all of these racks being rallied to the single Marine as he makes his way across the map. Definitely scout and see what the Terran player is doing with his Marines, and it looks like he's positioning this Spinecrawler very well just to be building so that when the bunker push happens, if it happens, you're safe, and this Marine isn't going to be able to do too much damage to the base, to the single Spinecrawler, but there are now 3 Marines. You want to be careful with your Overlords. Losing an Overlord this early in the game will really put you behind, but a lot of Lings being produced and chasing off these Marines, and Vile Illusion actually might lose a couple of them. 5 Marines in total now, and he's just going to pick off a few Marines, 2 going down right there, and going to chase the rest. 5 more Marines here, and actually Vile Illusion has delayed his command center until 27, which is pretty late if you're going to be doing a 2 racks expand, but safe stuff. And nothing too crazy, just lots of Marines. Marines are good units, but you want to be careful with the using them so aggressively. If Ruxin was not being economic, if he was just getting speedlings really early, getting a surround on this many Marines this early could mean the end of the game, simply just because you have the numbers. And with the Spinecrawler finish, these Marines are going to back off. More Marines coming across the map. You can see there is the 3 racks wall in. Very safe, and even getting supply depots here, so you can raise them and have a nice wall in case this gets busted. Very smart stuff. Let's take a look at the economy. Ruxin, predictably, is ahead by 6, and is building 6 drones at a time, so he's going to be very safe. In fact, he's even getting 2 gas, of course, not taking any gas in his main. Don't need to, he says. That's okay. Getting a second spine crawler is very smart in this kind of position, because if this was an all-in, he isn't sure that there is... Wow, that jumped way over there. He isn't sure that there's an expansion here. If there wasn't, it could be just a one-base all-in that uses the natural to build. And in fact, there are still a lot of Marines coming out here. But with 2 spines, he'll be totally fine. In fact, lots of queens here to prevent any sort of Hellion play. Pretty smart stuff. I wouldn't be surprised to see some Evo chambers going down to just protect the sides. And these Marines are just going to sit here. All 9 of them. Hanging out. Lots more barracks coming out from Illusion. And in fact, he's getting his double Evo chambers for lots of upgrades. In fact, he can start double upgrades as soon as he wants to. Instead, he gets stim. But that's okay. And of course, there's just a Zergling here working on this one barracks. He is saying, I hate barracks. Barracks mean to me. But now here come the double upgrades. So this is going to be pretty strong bio play from Vile Illusion. Wouldn't be surprised to see a factory soon so he could transition to Medivacs with his bio. But with all of these bio upgrades, you can see stim combat shields, +1 infantry weapons and armor. His bio is going to be very strong in the later parts of this game, if it gets to there. In the meantime, what is Ruxin doing? He is getting a Baneling nest and a lair. He's getting armor upgrades, which are always good against bio. And he's trying to get a third, but unfortunately these Marines are going to shut that down. This hatchery will be cancelled very shortly. Boom, and unfortunately losing the drone as well. But not losing that initial investment of 225 minerals. You can see it pop up there. A nice addition to the UI from Blizzard. And there's just going to be a lot of lings. Once speed finishes, you can see the Banelings are finished. These Marines are not going to make too much of a threat now that Banelings are finished. And a Spire on the way from Ruxin. I really like it. He's taken all 4 gas, and you can see he's beginning his gas stockpile. He's going to be able to build Banelings in case of an earlier push. But oh no, Vile Illusion might be caught with his pants down if these Lings and Banelings get us surrounded, but looks like they're moving into the middle of the map. This base might be cancelled, and Ruxin actually needs to go defend it. Oh no, he might have to cancel again. He's totally going to have to cancel again. Oh, poor, losing that 3rd base again. Vile Illusion is playing really well, but he will unfortunately lose all of the Marines as the Zerglings get a nice surround, and the Marines drop to nothing. So back to the base, like I said, bio is getting very strong. +1 weapons and armor is finishing as we speak. And in fact, he's salvaging the bunker he had here, and he's going to do a 1-1 push. He has stim, he has combat shields, and I like this timing. Because all of those 4 upgrades that he started are now done, and you hit in this window where you can take advantage of it before the Zerg player has these mutas in great number. Before Baneling hit, Banelings have speed, and before this creep spread gets too far, but Ruxin has actually done a great job. You can see on Shakura's Plateau, he already has his creep going out to the middle of the map. Unfortunately, losing the Queen early, Marauders doing bonus damage to them, but nothing too crazy. He's trying to get his 3rd base up, in fact, taking his 4th, while he has some mutas somewhere on the field. There they are, all 8 of them. And he is going to quickly try to get us around. He might lose the base if he's not careful, but that's a lot of Banelings. Here come... The base gets cancelled, but the Banelings are moving in. Very nice focus fire and tanking on the... Wow, that one Marauder took like 3 Banelings. So no good Baneling hits, but there were enough Zerglings to clean it off. And all 8 mutas are still alive, 3 more in production. And Zerg now, smart move taking this 4th here. He'll be able to replace the 3rd, which he already has queued up. And Zerg will be able to attack now, and Illusion doesn't even have the turrets completed. Here come the mutas, not doing too much damage, just poking a little bit away at this barracks. There aren't even... Oh, there is a missile turret here. It's just a little bit too far. The muta's flying from the side. Never mind. I'm blind. The missile turret is right there. And what is Ruxin doing? It actually looks like he is going to be very aggressive. He's getting Ling upgrades and just building a lot of Zerglings. And holy shit, 19 Banelings. He's going to bust this front. Bust it like a chump. And even with these drop ships, oh my gosh, taking out the missile turret here, you don't want to lose the mutas because they're going to help you do damage when this bust does hit. And indeed it can hit at any moment. Let's wait and see when he chooses to move out. There's 18 more Zerglings coming, but 2-2 upgrades are almost... they're halfway done, and if they finish before this bust hits, the bio will be doing a lot more damage. Oh no, and actually, Illusion moves out with the army. Here come the Banelings! Oh my gosh, running back into the main, but taking a lot of damage from the Zerglings. The wall completely finishes. Banelings exploding against the bio force, and the bio is forced to lift off with the medevacs and replace back on the low high ground. But in the meantime, Banelings moving into the main. The Marines are running. Zerglings picking away at them. Banelings getting so close to exploding. All these SCVs are back in the back of the main. But the mutas have managed to clean up a lot of stuff. The Banelings are still alive, trying to get this last Marine clump. But in the meantime, Lings are doing a ton of damage. Unfortunately, not killing too many SCVs, but all Vile Illusions down to 20 SCVs. How much damage did that do? 34 workers killed. I think that's all I need to say. Let's take a look at the state of these players. Ruxin has his 3rd and 4th finished. They aren't doing anything. And he is just building a lot of units. You can see 3 weapons now in production, and lots of bio. If Illusion can hold from any sort of second push, he'll be fine. And it indeed looks like Ruxin is going to push, getting a lot more mutas. He is getting +1 weapons for the mutas, and he's getting 2-1 on, the Zerglings and the Banelings, and he will be doing a probably 2-1, 0-1 ground attack push. I don't know. The fact that he has these bases is nice, because when he becomes mined out in the main, he can just move his units over here, and Illusion is playing on the back foot. He's trying to do some damage. He's not trying to drop, and fortunately Ruxin has really good Overlord position, so if there was a drop, the mutas would be able to clean it up. But there is a push coming out right now. Ruxin will see it soon, but he has a lot of Banelings and Lings to take it off, and without tanks, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be able to do too much damage. Ruxin should react to this push. And in fact, he's scanning to kill a lot of the creep tumors, but oh no, his bio takes huge hits, and all of the Marines die. Wow, putting down the Marines on the high ground here, so Banelings can't attack them, and these mutas are going to die if they try to attack. Very interesting play. Of course, the Marines can't do anything from the high ground, so Illusion is just going to lift off and go back home. But Ruxin has really good map control right now. Illusion is trying to think of a way how to attack. This is how this will definitely help here. Getting out siege tanks and doing a slow tank push. But is it too late? Will he be able to come back? I don't know. Ruxin's actually re-macroing up, going up to, it looks like 75 harvesters. He's going to be fully fine on his 4-base economy. And there's a lot of more units coming out on the way. Level 2 Zergling attack is almost finished, and he's getting level 2 armor. And there's a lot of mutas, actually. 18 mutas out on the field. Wow, this is getting pretty hectic. Illusion is falling really far behind. He's trying to do drops. This Overlord is going to be in the perfect position to scout it. And Ruxin's trying to find it. He's moving out with his Mutaflock. It may be out of position. Luckily, there is a Spinecrawler. Of course, the Spinecrawler is not very good against drops, and Ruxin's going to have to get his Mutaflock all the way over. There's the drop. Does he see it? He's moving in all of his Lings to the 4th base to protect it, and Vile Illusion actually is not choosing to expand. It looks like finally here comes his 3rd, but it's really late. It's already 20 minutes into the game. Very bad stuff for poor Vile Illusion. Here is a drop in the main. It goes down very easily. The drop here in the back, not doing anything. There is a majority of the army here on the 4th, but Illusion is getting really good position here in the middle of the map, and with these tanks here, it'll be hard for Ruxin to do any damage. He'll have to be creative with the mutas. And it looks like a very smart move from Illusion here, going around the Spinecrawler and just picking off as many drones as he can, doing some damage. You might be able to even take out the hatchery, which will actually cancel Burrow, but it's not going to happen. Ling's running in, but using that opening to run in more Marines and do damage, taking off the Mutalisks, taking out a lot of Zerglings, taking out tons of creep tumors. very smart move. This is the kind of stuff Vile Illusion needs to get back in the game. In fact, you can see his supply is closing up, and once he gets this third base mining, which it is finished, he can just get these gas completed, and he'll be on 3 base against Ruxin's 4, which is a lot less scary. Unfortunately, these mutas are actually getting pretty high in number. +2 attack for them is almost done, almost trying to pick off siege tanks, but getting caught. And here comes the push. Zergling streaming in, focusing directly on the siege tanks, taking a lot of them out. Look at this Baneling count. Marines are trying to do damage, but the Banelings are making huge hits, taking out the siege tanks. He needs a siege tank hit on these Banelings, which he doesn't get, and the Banelings actually exploding on the siege tanks. This isn't great, but look at, oh my gosh, the damage done to the Marines with the Banelings, and the Mutaflock is damaged, but this third base is totally unprotected. And oh no, moving the SCVs into the Banelings, never a good decision. The third base goes down, and Ruxin is in really good position right now because he can rebuild an army. 6 more Mutalisks on the field. Got to move him away from the missile turret, but his hive is almost finished. He'll be able to get Brood Lords soon, and unfortunately, Illusion is almost mined out in his main, so he only has 1 mining base, and it's almost gone as well. He needs to get some sort of mining, or else Ruxin can just wait 5 minutes and attack with a very strong Broodlord force, especially with these upgrades. 3/3 ground upgrades on the way, and of course he already has 2-0 Mutalisks, so all of his units are going to do really good. If he gets Broodlings out on the field, he will just do so much damage because he's even getting +1 flyer armor. And these mutas are just checking. You can see he's had the Zergling running for hours, getting a nice workout, just trying to see when the Terran player tries to take his 4th base. Oh my gosh, more Banelings moving in. Thor now here, and Illusion does a really good job splitting up his Marines, and he's going to clean up that attack very easily. And he's even lifted off the Thor. Gotta be careful. Don't want to lose the medevac while it's carrying a Thor, or the Thor explodes. Instead of just falling safe to the ground, there are 2 Banelings right here. Oh, I thought they were going to explode. Okay, they don't, but there are Baneling bombs. I'll try to keep an eye on that throughout the game. Excuse me. But Ruxin is building just scary amounts of stuff. You can see all these Banelings here. Oh, I thought that was a massive amount of Marines. It's not. It's a Thor. And more mutas in the fight. They're not doing too well right now. But without siege tanks, really, Illusion just doesn't have the army composition you want against this mass Zergling Baneling force. But with the Thor will definitely help, especially with these SCVs following it around. Just being little friends to this Thor. And here comes the push. Will Ruxin be able to defend? Of course, SCVs attacking the Queen is never a good sight. Let's see if they can't do enough damage, but then the mutas come in and just take him out. It's really quite mean. Oh, but here comes the Infestor doing a decent fungal there. And I think Ruxin is just holding off. Here come the Zerglings, and this attack is a go, dropping some infested Terrans. Banelings coming in. It looks like these Thors are going down very quickly. More Banelings coming out. There are Banelings in the back. Vile Illusion is trying to split his army. Oh no! The Baneling bomb going off, killing the last line of defense. And Infestors are moving into the main, throwing down a ton of infested Terrans. The mutas aren't too heavy in number, but look what's coming in the back. Lots of Infestors, lots of Zerglings, even Adrenal Glands. It's almost completed. And these Lings are going to do a ton of damage, picking off siege tanks. Infestors having a go with it. And Illusion GG's and leaves the map. What an exciting game. I'm happy to have casted it. I'll see you guys later. It's getting dark. Where's my girlfriend? See you guys later.